Welcome to Yappin About Young Justice, a podcast retrospective about the cartoon series Young Justice. Now, we started this podcast as we are hotly anticipating a season 3 pickup from Netflix, and we decided to look back and commentate over episodes of Young Justice from the 2 seasons that they gave us. So without further ado, let's get started. My name is Holden.
And I'm Jackson.
And this is Yappin About Young Justice. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Yappin About Young Justice. We're getting ready to hit play. Make sure you guys got your DVDs, your Netflix, your Blu-rays, your VHS. You know, maybe it's on TV right now because you got a perfect life. But we're getting ready to hit play right now. Wait, nope. Right now. Alright, so we got the Warner Brothers logo up. Got the subtitles. Got it on mute. They're at a shipping place. So this is the 3rd episode, Jackson.
Hey, and it's me, Jackson. 3rd episode, Welcome to Happy Harbor. And it starts out in Star City, where it looks like we get a good shot of Red Arrow.
Yep, Red Arrow is taking down this guy with braids.
Well, maybe he's not Red Arrow yet. Maybe he's still Speedy.
Well, but, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, Speedy, Red Arrow, Arsenal. The Roy Harper character was one of the best characters on this show. But obviously he's not part of the team.
No, he was like, you guys are getting tricked. You guys aren't cool. Like me, Red Arrow, or Speedy.
Yeah, I'm always cool. I'm Speedy.
Now, is this guy supposed to be somebody?
I don't know.
He's got braids, but they're not really braids, because, like, it's just like he's got, like, a little bit of hair that is like, can you braid this up for me?
Yeah, he's got those weird cartoon braids where they just kind of, like, roll up like a Play-Doh snake and put it on his head.
But yeah, they're trying to convince him to join up with Young Justice.
No, not the guy with the braids.
No, they're trying to convince Speedy.
Oh, okay. It was like they're doing a bad job of trying to get him to join. They're like, hey, join. I mean, I don't know who this guy is supposed to be.
Brick?
Brick? Probably sounds about right.
Yeah, it's probably
He's
Brick.
kind of like got a brick-like hue to him.
Yep.
I wonder, is that a real character, or is it just made up for the episode?
No, Brick's a real character, because remember, he's like a Green Arrow bad guy.
Oh yeah, because he's Vinnie Jones.
Yeah, because he was Vinnie Jones on Arrow.
I was going to start singing.
The Arrow theme? Did you start singing the Halloween theme?
I was going to start singing Brick by Ben Folds, but then I couldn't remember how it goes.
Well, that was the cold opening, was them trying to convince Speedy. They were like, hey, man, look, being Young Justice ain't too bad. And he's just like, you guys are just a bunch of sheep.
Yeah.
You're letting them, bend you over and take over. But, I'm not going to do that because I'm cool. I sound like the guy from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah, and that lays some pretty good seeds for, things to come. So that's a pretty good scene. Now, again, like the other episodes that we've watched, I didn't like this episode when I first watched it.
Well, I watched it earlier today, and I would say it does deal with more, it deals with, characters that I am familiar with. So for me, I was able to enjoy it more so than the first couple episodes. But I didn't find this one to be overbearingly like, I don't really care what's going on in this one. This one was a little more interesting, I found, at least when I watched it.
Okay. Got an appearance by Red Tornado, one of my favorite Justice League characters. Robot character, which, the second thing about Red Tornado is that since he's a robot, he's always the one that gets, like, destroyed in a Justice League story. So when they show up somewhere, he basically gets to act as the red shirt.
Yeah. And then he can just come back because he's a robot. He can just be rebuilt.
He always just comes back. But I always think that it's always really lucky that the villain chooses the one guy who's a robot to like tear in half.
Well, because he
Like
wants
he
to.
doesn't pick Batman. He grabs Red Tornado and tears him in half.
Well, Red Tornado doesn't have to worry about not getting ripped in half, so he can always go in, jump
Guns
in,
a-blazing.
guns a-blazing, tornadoes a-blazing, and then he's just like, well, if I get ripped in half, I can just always come back because I'm a robot.
True that.
Wally's eyes are as green as Miss Martian. Just like
Yeah. He's got some green ass eyes. He's from the fucking homeland Ireland, right?
Yep.
He's right.
Um.
Got the first introduction to Miss Martian, right?
Yeah, kind of, because she was just kind of like, hey, by the way, here's Miss Martian at the end of the last episode.
Okay.
So this one kind of deals with her a little bit more.
Okay, so Miss Martian, like I said, one of the better characters in this show.
They're showing them their Mountain Justice, the headquarters that they use, the big mountain that's turned into a headquarters base.
Yep.
Why does
Well,
Robin still have sunglasses on? He
To
could
protect his secret
he
identity.
could still take off the sunglasses. He's inside a mountain. He doesn't need
Yeah,
to
but he
protect his
doesn't want
eyes.
the other people to know who he is.
Everybody knows who he is.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they
They're
do.
like, he's Robin. But then if he takes off his sunglasses, they're going to be like, Dick Grayson? You're Robin? And they're
Oh
going to be
my
like, how do you know
gosh.
who Dick Grayson is anyways? We don't even live in the same city. I'm just an orphan from a huge city
With a bunch of orphans.
full of orphans.
Yeah, not only is like one of the most famous people there a orphan, there's also
orphan.
a big like orphanage place.
Plus, every Robin is an orphan.
Yeah.
Every Batgirl.
Well,
He's kind
Tim
of an
Drake's
orphan.
not really an orphan.
He's an orphan now.
Yeah, now.
Later on. Both his mom and his dad died. Cassandra Cain was an orphan. Yeah, plenty of orphans there. But anyways, yeah, I mean, he's nervous. Why Superboy got a jacket on?
Ugh, get out of my head. Oh.
Yeah, this is the annoying, angry Superboy.
I don't know, they were all kind of angry that she had gotten in their head.
Yeah, they always got real angry at her.
They're like, oh, get out of my head.
They're like, get out of here, Miss Martian. We don't want you anymore.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, yeah, but, I mean, you got to realize she's just an alien. She doesn't know. She's kind of annoying anyway, so it's kind of like... She's like, oh my gosh.
Hello, Megan. Yeah, catchphrase. She had a catchphrase.
She has a catchphrase. Wow, she stole the catchphrase. Spoilers.
Spoilers. Great episode coming up in season 2.
Was it season
Wait,
2?
was it season? I don't know. One of these seasons.
It's an episode.
There's only 2 seasons, so I've got a 50% chance of being right.
Riveting commentary so far.
Yes. well, let's spice it up, Holden. How about that Ms. Martian there?
Yep.
Would
What?
you do the deed with her?
No, because I know what she really looks like. She's a weird white Martian. Spoilers.
Yeah, but what if she looked like that during the whole thing, and she's like, I can promise you throughout the
I'm
whole
not.
thing, I'm gonna not turn into that big white monster. I'm gonna stay this way the whole time.
I don't know if I'd be like, yeah, but I don't know, because you'd probably be like, oh, and then you turn into a weird white Martian.
She's like,
And she doesn't have human physiology, so it wouldn't be the same.
He's like, yeah, I do.
No, she wouldn't, because she
I'm
has
just,
Martian
I'm just
physiology.
green.
Yeah, but she's green, too. And I don't know what type of green that is, if it's just like, oh, she's just green,
Well,
or if
it
it's
really
like
matters.
scaly green.
It really matters
It
what
could be
shade
scaly.
of green.
No, it could be like scaly green. She could be like a scaly, like fish monster, like green, and they just aren't showing us that.
This is not the... Well, she can shapeshift, so she can shapeshift the scaliness away. So it's just smooth skin.
What about you?
But it's green. Yeah, do it. I wouldn't kick her out for eating cookies in the bed or
Crackers.
whatever.
But
I don't know. I feel like cookies is something that I think somebody would eat in the bed.
yeah, but
and I
the
think
saying
that'd
is
be more
crackers.
annoying.
The saying is crackers.
Yeah, but I
Cookies,
think
cookies, I
cookies
think would
makes
be
more
more
sense.
annoying because then I'd be like, oh, dang it, now I'm going to get ants in my bed.
What about there? Would you
No.
do her if she looked like a
I
Robin?
don't want to look like Robin or Kid Flash. But here we get another look at another cash grab toy product that they've introduced.
Oh yeah,
Miss
With
Martian's
this
ship.
Miss Martian ship.
Because why would she need a ship? She can fly.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. And yeah, why does she need a ship?
I mean, it's an interesting thing for them to have because like they can have it and it's a ship, but I don't know why Miss Martian needed to have it because she can fly.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just gave it to Miss Martian so they could be like, oh, well, it has all this, alien technology, so we can make it do all kinds of cool things. So we can make a better toy for people to buy.
Mm-hmm. So we can make a
Because
regular
otherwise,
looking
it could
one.
have just been like, oh, well, they used because they already established in the show that they use like boom tubes or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, why can't they just teleport everywhere? Or why can't like the Justice League just be like, here's one of our
here's a
old
plane.
Justice League ships.
Yeah, that can do everything that you need it to. It can
Yeah.
go invisible. They can fly really fast, and they can also.
It also has a DVD player.
Yep.
But they're like, no, we need this alien one where you have to put your hands on these two globes.
Yeah, these two
and then
balls.
it can
and then
shapeshift, and then
shapeshift
it looks
stuff.
all funky and colorful. And then you can drop right out of the bottom.
Yeah, but you can drop out of a regular one too.
Wait,
Robin.
Is this the one with Bane, or is this...
This is the one with the robot, that guy.
Oh, okay. I think I did like this one better.
Yeah, the one with Bane. I watched this one and the next one. And the one with Bane's not that great. I like Bane in it because it was voiced by Danny Trejo. So it was kind of interesting to hear him be Bane. But otherwise, yeah, it was kind of a weird one because it had that Cobra guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I didn't like that one. I think what happened was, so that must have been what happened originally, was I watched those first two episodes, I was like, eh.
And you
But
missed
then I
this
watched
one.
the next one, and I was like, oh, this one is a little bit better. But then I watched the Bane one, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Well, maybe you watched the beginning and you were like, ooh, Bane. And then you were like, oh, what's that thing? Because the guy turns into like another blockbuster looking guy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh, they're dealing with this stuff again.
Yeah, because that's also kind of like real gross, especially for a cartoon.
Yeah,
Where
because
they
his
do it where it's
skin's
like the
ripping up.
skin's all ripping off. I didn't like that in Arkham Knight either. I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, I feel like if your skin was like ripping like that, you wouldn't be able to fight. You'd be in horrible pain.
Well, he wouldn't care because his adrenaline's all pumping and he's like, oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, your adrenaline can only go so far.
You can have adrenaline to where like you can run for like miles on like a broken leg and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
but
still
that's
be and
different
not
than
feel
having
it.
your chest skin.
Yeah, but you
split
also
open.
like have like a weird chemical, adrenaline shot where it's like it turns me into a giant monster and rips my like rock skin in half. I don't know. Who cares?
guess, whatever.
It's a comic book world.
It's just kinda-
Nobody's a Martian and nobody can run really fast
Whatever.
either.
Okay, I guess it's.
I mean, they
to me,
threw.
it's just kinda gross.
Robin just got thrown up against a wall and was back up fighting. His back would have been broken.
All right. And like I
Don't
said,
argue with logic.
It's just gross.
in a comic book.
Yeah, because this is the one where they were like, "Oh man, this guy, he's clearly Red Tornado, and he's testing us."
Well, yeah,
But then
she's
it-
getting ready to drop that bomb.
But then at the end, they were just like, "No, it wasn't." It
And
was
then Red
just a
Tornado
regular
was like,
guy.
it wasn't me. Well, yeah, because she was like, oh, it must be Red Tornado because
Yeah, 'cause
he's
I'm getting
trying to
nothing.
test us and show us that we need to be better superheroes or whatever. But, and since he's a robot.
Yeah,
But,
also because he's red and he makes tornadoes.
Yep. And then they were like, oh, okay. So Red Tornado's just testing us. But then it really wasn't Red Tornado because he actually started killing people.
Yeah. But he had like a stupid name, like Mr. Twister.
Well, actually, Mr. Twister is a real character.
Is he?
Yes.
Ooh.
I was looking it up, and it says on trivia, on IMDb's trivia, it says that in the first issue of some Teen Titans, I think they said they fought Mr. Twister. The team faces Mr. Twister back in Teen Titans' first issue. they face the same villain but in a different incarnation.
Oh, so that's kind of like a pretty cool homage to the original comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see? Young
Mr. Twister, gonna go and twist you.
Go Superboy getting his ass beat. I think did we already go over this? Could Superboy fly in the comic book?
He could fly at first, but then, like when Jeff Johns kind of did the Teen Titans. I don't know if Jeff Johns did it or if it was in Young Justice, but he couldn't later on.
Okay. And he can't fly in that one.
No, he can just jump.
Okay.
Jump.
Oh shit. They just disappeared, son.
One thing about his design is, why does he have to have that scarf?
Yeah, if he's a robot, what's he wearing a scarf for in the first place? And why is his hands and feet like real huge?
Because he's a robot, Jackson.
Yeah, but why would you build a robot with like giant forearms?
I don't know. Ask the guy that made him.
Yeah, I mean, if I go to the guy that made him, and he's the same guy who designed Popeye.
I'm like, yeah.
He's like, I stopped drawing comic books, and I started making robots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this one, they were very harsh on Miss Martian. That was a great form of, like, detectivism that I wouldn't have thought. I mean, granted, it was wrong, but she still kind of was like, hey, maybe it's Red Tornado, because, you know, this guy makes tornadoes and is red and is a robot.
What did she just do wrong? Didn't she just put a force field and make him invisible?
No, they're mad at her because they said it was Red Tornado, and then it wasn't.
Oh. Oh, man, that's, I mean, it was just her guess.
Yeah, and like I said, that was a very good guess.
Yeah, it was a guess. I mean, come on, it's pretty obvious. He's got tornado powers, and he's red, and he's a robot.
And at first, he wasn't like killing a bunch of people. It was like, okay, well, maybe he's not a bad guy. But now he's like murdering people, so now he's a bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of stupid. But whatever, they're kids. They're kids.
Yeah, I mean, you also have all the annoying stuff where they're like, hey, baby, I love you. Don't you? I love you. Because Kid Flash is always just like, I love you. I want to be with you. Baby.
I mean, you know, I was like I said, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but it was kind of like overbearing. Like, hey, baby, I'm going to eat these nasty cookies.
I think anything with kids.
He was eating burnt cookies, Jackson. Who eats burnt cookies?
I mean, how burnt were they?
They were like real burnt. You can see how burnt they were. They were black.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Well, who knows? Kid Flash, he eats stuff so fast he might not even like taste it that much.
I don't know, Jackson. They were pretty burnt.
Okay. I mean, you wouldn't eat some burnt cookies for like a piece of tail?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, see.
But not like in the sense of like, I'm going to eat these burnt cookies and then be like, hey, baby.
You wouldn't? You wouldn't if there was some...
I'm not going to like, these cookies are so delicious, baby, just like you, baby. Get in my mind, baby.
In here that was like, here, have some of my cookies. And they were burnt, and you're like, oh, yeah, these are real great. And then you're like, come on, baby, why don't you go out to the movies with me?
What did we say?
Get out of our heads. Get out of here. Nobody wants you around here anymore.
Get
out of here.
Hey, we got to get out of here.
The police are doing stuff.
I'll see a Red Tornado finally comes to be useful.
Yeah, see, but now he's going to get killed.
It's like...
He gets ripped in half immediately.
Well, see, that was the thing in that one Justice League storyline where Solomon Grundy, like, rips him in half or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Solomon Grundy was just like, I thought he was a robot.
Yeah.
I'm just so used to ripping you up when you're a robot.
Yeah, there's a story where he became a human, and Solomon Grundy tore him in half, tore his arm off or whatever. There we go. Take him down, son. They're evenly matched. Oh, I guess not.
No, we are not Tornado. We are not
Because he
evenly
can
matched. Because I can shoot lightning.
Oh, well, that's just because you have a lightning gun on your arm. No.
I'm going to plug up my USB ports to your head. So he's trying to reprogram Red Tornado back to his factory setting. But it was actually Miss Martian.
It was Miss Martian. How'd she make the tornadoes?
Because it was Kid Flash.
Oh, I get it.
Not really, though.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's fine. As soon as I asked the question, Kid Flash showed up with a tornado, and it came to me. So
When
Why do you have to take his shirt off to go on?
Well, when I first watched the episode, they threw him in the water, and then I seen this guy automatically show up. I didn't know it was Aqualad at first. I was like, "Who's that guy?"
I was like, "Oh man, Aquaman is here."
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. I was like, "It's Aquaman," and I was like, "Oh wait, no, it's Aqualad."
Yeah, that's weird. Why'd they take his shirt off?
Because he didn't want to get his shirt wet.
But he's Aquaman.
He's Aqualad, not Aquaman, Jackson.
He should always be ready to go into the water. I mean, Aquaman doesn't have to take his shirt to go into the water.
Oh no, she just murdered that man.
See, but you take the thing off, and he's actually a robot too.
Rose.
Dun dun dun.
Duh. That's why she couldn't read his mind, because he's a robot too.
And they unscrew the eyeball, and inside there's an even tinier alien sitting in a chair.
And he's like, no.
He's like, oh, my plan.
What was it? The galaxy is on Orion's belt.
Yes, like Men in Black style. Yes.
And we all find out that it was actually Dr. T.O. Morrow, the maker of Red Tornado.
Yep. So who would be better to make another Red Tornado than the guy who made Red Tornado the first time?
Who's the other guy? It's T.O. Morrow and...
Professor Ivo?
Yeah, who's better? Ivo or Morrow?
Oh, Morrow.
Morrow?
Yeah, I'd say Morrow.
He's got a cooler name.
Yeah.
T.O. Morrow, like tomorrow.
Yeah, he's got a much better name. And I think his robot... I mean, who did Ivo make? He made
Amazo.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Red Tornado is a better made robot.
Red Tornado is a better robot, I think. And as a character, he's better.
I would say as far as craftsmanship.
I'd say Ivo's got it because he's able to make a robot that is able to have all the Justice League's powers.
But that's not that tough, because whoever made the Super Adaptoid in Marvel could do it too.
I guess. But the Super Adaptoid looks stupid. Amazo kind of looks cool. He's got those pointy ears.
Oh, you're saying Amazo doesn't
he
look
kind of looks kind of cool, though, with those pants.
I would take the Super Adaptoid over Amazo anytime. If I had to look like one of them.
Yeah, but Super Adaptoid just looks like a real green, like, robot
like Combo Man
guy or something. But at least, like, whatchamacallit looks like, he's got, like, he looks like...
He's got a unique look.
He's got a unique look, and
it's stupid.
But if you draw him right, it can look kind of cool. If you draw him, like, big and scary looking, it can kind of look cool.
No, I mean...
Yeah, like in Under the Red Hood, he looked kind of cool.
Be honest, he did not look cool. He looks like one of Santa's elves got really big.
All right, guys. Well, that was the end of the episode.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Well, what was... What
do you ratings.
Yeah, what do you rate this episode?
What was our rating system?
It was like, something out of 10 or whatever.
I give it like I give this one a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10?
Yeah, because I think I gave the other ones like 3 out of 10. This one's 5 because I thought that the character development that they gave for what's her name?
Miss Martian.
Miss Martian was much better than whatever we got in the previous episodes.
Well, like I said in the last episode, it was just... when she was first introduced, they were just like, here's whatchamacallit's daughter or whatever, or cousin.
Well, I'm talking about the character development for any of the characters. So we saw a little bit from Ms. Martian, we saw a little bit from Speedy, and I think though that made the episode better.
Okay then, guys, you heard it first. 5 out of 10. Don't worry, we love this show. I know the first story. We haven't given them riveting reviews.
We'll get there.
But we'll get there. Just like the DCEU, hopefully we'll get there.
We'll probably get there by like episode 7 or...
7?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, because the next one's not super great either. But
the next one's worse, in my opinion.
We'll get there. We'll get there, guys.
All right.
Have a good day.
See you next Tuesday.
Or next Monday.